Alright guys, welcome back to another PD2 video. This is the last Javazon video I'm going to do for now. I know that there is perhaps some changes coming to Fend that might make it worth investigating, but for now I've explored all the options. So this is the melee Javazon build, primarily using Lightning Strike as the best ability. Let's get into it here. So turn this down. Do the Merc first. Merc is infinity because we're using lightning damage. Now I tried this build using an infinity myself because it does have a lot of lightning pierce and crushing blow. So I was curious, but turns out it's not better. So yeah, so infinity on the Merc, and then the Might Aura on the Merc as well. Because we can't block, we want to have Defiance on our Merc, so make sure you get the Act 2 Merc with Defiance Aura. So you can see we're at 3,200. If we go out to town, we get 3 times that from his Defiance Aura, so it's a lot of armor. Very good for us. Abilities, Lightning Strike, and we're going to max its synergies, which are Charge Strike and Power Strike, as well as maxing Javelin and Spear Mastery. Then we're going to get 1 point down to Penetration, and 1 point in everything else, and then max Valkyrie, just because there's nothing else to put your points in. The swap is Call to Arms Lidless, like usual. The charms will be 9 skillers to Jav and Spear skills. Torch Annie, simulating cannot be frozen here in one of the slams. And we're going to want some all resist charms. You can actually drop these fire res charms and go for some poison res charms. But because the Stone Raven gives us 30 to 50 all resist, we're really good on resists with this build. Alright, so let's take a look at it. This build is going to rely a lot on sockets in your gear. So it's a very, very end game, late game type of expensive build because it's going to utilize the faucets to increase our damage. So you can see here we have 45% elemental pierce and 40 mastery. That's all from just our gear here. So the weapon of choice is Stone Raven. The reason Stone Raven's the best is a lot of reasons, but number one, its actual physical damage is extremely high. You can see on the sheet here. There's about 1,000 damage from lightning we're getting from various sources, so you can ignore that, and it's basically 3,200 to 5,000 damage in just physical. So that's actually not bad. This build is like lightning primarily, but the physical damage portion is actually a lot larger than, say, most like paladins that run auras and do elemental stuff. So it's really high. We're also getting some magic damage, which kind of helps a little bit. And of course, the Forda Javin Spear skills is extremely strong on this thing. It has a chance, I think it can be 6 sockets, but I could be wrong. It's definitely up to 4, and 4 is enough to really get off the ground here and do what you want to do. The attack speed breakpoints are here for matriarchal spears, so we want to be at 125. And if we take a look in here, we're at 135. So what I've done is I've put 2 shale runes and then 1 15% IAS rune with also 40 enhanced damage, and then 1 lightning faucet. In the Griffin's Eye, we've puzzle boxed 2 sockets, and it has 2 lightning faucets. Obviously, it's a perfect Griffin's. This would be an extremely expensive piece of gear, but you know, it's just showing you the scaling. For the armor, I went with Steel Carapace because, again, we can't block with this build. We're not using a shield, so I want as much armor as possible. And ideally, you'd want a ethereal version of this because it has the repair durability mod. It provides us a ton of cold resist, and it also has physical damage reduction, and it also has 2 dual skills, and it's a source of sockets for us so that we can get more faucets going. These are the same gloves from before. These are like GG crafted gloves with dual leech and crushing blow and attack speed, so you really want these if you can get them. 2 wisps, T-gods, high lords, and core riders. Pretty standard package here for melee attack damage. Alright, showed you the swap. So yeah, this is the setup. We've got a lot of pierce, some good amount of mastery. We're at the attack speed cap. Notice we have a lot of crit strike and deadly strike combined. We have some crushing blows, so and mana and life leech. So everything here is like very optimal. Nothing about this is weak or bad. The only thing about it that I don't quite like is the fact that it's melee, but you know, it doesn't matter, does the job. So let's go take a look in here. So let's do our little buffing. Let's summon our Valks. I think we get 3 of them, which is nice. And then let's buff them. And let's go ahead and check out the damage. So it's excuse me, it's 1 to 19k on the lightning, and it's a chain lightning, which can chain 12 times. So if there's 2 targets, it will chain between it 6 times each. Very high damage. And then of course our physical damage is doing around 7k. So nothing to sneeze at. I do wish we could have vigor, but we don't. But you'll see very quickly here that it's one of the highest kill speed builds I've used in all my testing so far. You are essentially one-shotting entire packs, and your chain lightning will chain to other packs and just start killing them. And if you get lucky on the lightning range, you're going to just one-shot the whole pack. So this is by far the highest DPS and fastest clearing, and also the safest and easiest playstyle for anything I've tested so far. It absolutely just slaps. It goes right through everything like butter. It reminds me of how Dragon Den was in season 2. It just melts everything. We've been in this map for maybe 40 seconds and have cleared like a quarter of it. You basically don't have to stop for anything. Most of the time it's like one shot kills the pack. And again, with the whole lightning, the way lightning works, many things that are immune to lightning will be broken by conviction. And if they're not, they just get killed by our physical damage anyways, because we do so much. Look how quick the Cow Queen's going down here. Like, just no contest. The best build I've tested so far. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that I have a ton of faucets, and this type of build really utilizes the faucets to the maximum potential. Because Chain Lightning never gets wasted. It will find a target in range and chain to it. Here's a problem, right? Physical, immune to physical and lightning. So we still do a little bit of magic damage, so that's why its health's going down. But yeah, so those are the very few mobs you'll come across that you can't do anything to, so you just skip them. But because of the amount of speed and like power out of this build that you're getting, coming across the odd mob that you can't kill is not a big deal. Not a big deal in the slightest. Now, does this build have a lot of magic find? The answer is no. 78. Now, I'm not using a Gahid's charm, but 78 is quite low. So this would be a type of build, and honestly, there isn't much room to add a bunch of magic find. You could get alternative like helmet and armor, and put like topazes in it, but you would really nerf the kill speed. So this type of build is like, this is a mapping build for sure, and like an S plus at least, because this is for high runes. Like basically the amount of mobs we're killing per hour with this build would be extremely high. The map is almost done, and it's been like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Excuse me. And you can see how safe it is. We're rarely taking any damage. We're just rarely getting hit. 28% chance to dodge. Plus we have our other dodges. Now if we do start getting hit, you gotta remember we're doing quite a bit of physical damage, so we have a lot of lifesteal. And also because the chain lightning chains throughout the whole pack as a melee class, let's say there's like witches in the back, it's never a problem because the chain lightning will get to them, and so we're not going to be taking a whole bunch of projectile damage. It's a huge advantage over a lot of melee classes. Um, this is how I feel Vengeance Paladin is going to be, because it has the same type of mechanic. It's a melee build that has like a chaining effect that goes through packs. So, yeah, amazing build.